Ian Flux, with alongside of him Jamie Campbell-Walter. Fluxy, a confident man, having dominated the Open of the championship, waits there for the lights to change from red to green. And a huge field of 34 TVR Tuscans leave the line. This is the view from Ian McKellar's car from the second row of the grid, and he's left Flux behind. In fact, that was the worst start I've seen Ian Flux make in a long while. And here on board with Derek Luke as he comes down towards Copse Corner, making his way past 2 or 3 cars there. And now the run up towards Beckett's. And at the front of the field it's Campbell-Walter, with Flux now trying to make up for a disappointing start. On board with Tim Hood, brake lights go on ahead of him. A bit of nudging going on there too. Number 21 in the middle of all that, Martin Crass. Martin, a long-time supporter of the TVR Tuscan Challenge. And now Ian Flux seriously trying to make amends for that start as they come up towards Stowe for the first time. Action going on up and down the field. Phil Hindley there on the outside. And he's trying to make up a place on Gavin Cooper's car. On the run down towards Club now. And Fluxy has done it. He's in charge at the front. Second place, Campbell-Walter. Third place, McKellar. Fourth place, Bobby Verden-Rowe. Fifth place, Martin Short. And cars going all over the place. Whoa, who's that? Number 10, Steve Hyde. That's Gavin Cooper's teammate. Slides across the middle of the pack there, but collects it back together again. Now, into the Abbey complex, and Bobby Verden-Rowe got it a bit wrong there. He's lost a couple of spots as a result of that. And a spinner too, parked in the gravel trap. Number 21 there is Martin Crass. Martin, who, as we said earlier, a long-time supporter of TVR Tuscan Racing. Oh, and a touch there for Verden-Rowe from number 75, Phil Hindley. And Hindley gets going again. Verden-Rowe also, but both have lost a few places as a result of that. Here comes Flux. Behind him, Campbell-Walter, then McKellar, then Short. So Short is the man on a charge at the moment. He's moved up a spot. That's Giles Cooper, number 14, chairman and owner of the TVR Centre. And McKellar is the man now to start coming under pressure from Martin Short. Take a look at a replay of what happened a moment ago to Bobby Verden-Rowe. Oh, and Phil Hindley just gives him a tap there. They both go around. Verden-Rowe rejoins, and he hasn't lost too many spots. Phil Hindley, I'm afraid, dropped quite a long way back. Now Short on the inside there. Oh, and they touch. Short trying to find a way past McKellar. On board here with Tim Hood. Oh, I thought Bobby Verden-Rowe was going to get assaulted there for a moment. But no, Hood spins and reverses out, didn't quite land it in the gravel trap, so he's able to get going again. Giles Cooper continuing his dice there. 22 is Matthew Kelly. We're back in this action for third place between McKellar and Shaw. McKellar coming under an awful lot of pressure now from Martin Shaw. On board now with McKellar, and he's really having to fight that car. And I wonder, McKellar's got a problem. McKellar has definitely got a problem. He slowed right down there. And I can only think that that's got something to do with the bit of contact that there was at Club a little while ago between McKellar and Martin Short. Short, though, doesn't seem to have any such problems. He continues with Colin Blower just behind him there. And then number 9, Gavin Cooper. On board here with Derek Luke, charging into Copse Corner. Oh, hello. Run out of road there. And off into the gravel trap, and I don't think he'll get that out of there very easily. McKellar dropping further and further back down the field with what I'm quite sure is a puncture from the way that that car was handling. Out of the car, he's quite all right there. Gets Derek Luke. He walks to safety. Meantime, Martin Crass is involved with trying to get his car out of the gravel trap there. Land Rover, I think, might have given up. And here is Ian Flux. still continuing to lead the race. But behind him, Jamie Campbell-Walter, then Martin Short. They're all behaving themselves remarkably well as they go past the stricken car of Martin Krass. Green flag signal that the incident is past, so overtaking can take place once more. Colin Blower having a good drive here, making his way up through the field. Blower, another man who's supported the TVR Tuscan Challenge for many years now, and trying to force Martin Short into a mistake there. Tim Hood, who's got going again, trying to make up places. Number 11 there is Nigel Tuscan, and past goes Tim Hood in number 26. Flux with a commanding lead now over Jamie Campbell-Walter. Matthew Kelly. He's been involved in a few dices during the course of this race. He's running inside of the top 10 at the moment. This is the view from over the top of Matthew Kelly's helmet as he heads down the Hanger Straight and up towards Stowe Corner. Into the pits, as we rather suspected, number 96, Ian McKellar. And around Stowe there goes number 12, Neil Anderson. Back now with the action for third place. On the inside there is Martin Short. Just behind him, Colin Blower. And Short with an arm in the air, and that's because the black and yellow checkered flags have come out, and that means that the cars must reduce their speed, so they drop away from racing speed. No overtaking is permitted, and this will allow the marshals an opportunity to move those stricken cars from the gravel traps, which have been deemed to be in dangerous positions. Good news for us, though, the viewers and spectators, because we'll get an opportunity for the field to close up and racing to begin again in very much closer style. So Ian Flux's lead will have been reduced somewhat dramatically. Jamie Campbell-Walter in second, Martin Short third, fourth place Colin Blower, and fifth place Cooper. Gavin Cooper, that is. The good news is that TVR Power, Land Rover Power and Marshall Power have managed to extricate Martin Krass's car. And the other car that went out, which was Derek Luke's, has also been moved from the dangerous position. So racing set to begin again as they cross the start-finish line. And there they go. Green flag is waved. And at the front of the field, Ian Flux, the lead I suspect he's unlikely to lose. Campbell-Walter in second, third place Short, fourth place Blower, and fifth place there Gavin Cooper. It's on for young and old between that lot. Down into Beckett's. Flux extending his lead. You can see the ground that he makes just in the middle of the corner there. So much experience. And there, Matt Kelly on the inside of number 3, Steve Cole. Onto the Hanger Straight they go. Now, can Kelly put alongside of Cole? Well, they're there in the background, and the answer is no. Huge field of Tuscans. The series really has become so popular. Troy Dunlop there, fending off the attentions of number 27, Bobby Burden-Rowe. Expected to be one of the season's pace setters. Things really haven't gone quite his way here at Silverstone. He's suffered from being assaulted on certainly one occasion. And yellow flags being waved there on the run down towards Club Corner, and that's because Burden-Rowe has gone off, and that man, number 99, Matthew Were, and there was another car too that I noticed as they went around Club, and I've got a feeling that was Gavin Cooper. Oh, Burden-Rowe in all sorts of trouble as he goes round Abbey there. Holds onto it just about, and he didn't make it round Abbey. Matthew Were is out of the race. He's parked the car almost where Martin Krass's car was parked. Lots of marshal power going on there. Andy Currell now, this is the view from his car. as he goes around Copse using, all the curb, touching one of the bollards there on the way out. These TVRs have to take a fair amount of stick. The racing is always close, sometimes a bit too close. Number 8 there, Peter Wheeler, chairman of TVR. Always enjoys his motor racing, and it's great to see Peter out competing in the series. Good dice with Matt Kelly just outside of the top 6. On the inside there is Steve Guglielmi, and right on the tail of Steve Cole once again. The bright yellow car that you can see in front is that of Grant Tromans. Yellow flag still being waved to clubs, so no overtaking. That's because the marshals are still dragging the car of Gavin Cooper out of the gravel trap. And through goes Kelly there, now coming under some pressure from Guglielmi. Yellow flags also out at Abbey, so no overtaking there. We know the reason for that because we saw number 99 Matthew Wurr park his car in the gravel. Here's Ian McKellar. Not a happy bunny, I suspect, after and spinning out in front of him there is number 10 Steve Hyde. He'll lose some places as a result of that. And McKellar, I was going to say, not a very happy man after collecting a puncture earlier on. Oh, and a spinner there, that's number 75 Phil Hindley, and we've seen him do that before, in fact on the opening lap when he touched Bobby Burden Rowe. But neatly executed little spin and collects it back together again without losing too many places. Fluck still leads. Campbell Walter in second. Up to third now is Colin Blower. Martin Short fourth. As the rest of them file through Copse once again, having reeled off another lap. Guglielmi has found his way ahead of Matt Kelly. Here go the rest of the runners, and hello, off goes, that's Andy Currell again. We saw him do that, I think, on the previous lap when he clipped the bollard. This time he's gone all the way around the outside of the bollard. Is he going to hold on to it? No. Now Steve Cole coming under some pressure here from Steve Guglielmi. And Guglielmi pushing all the time to find a way past Cole. And has he forced Cole into a mistake there? He locked a brake. Now Cole may run a little bit wide on the exit of club and give Guglielmi a chance to pull alongside. Well, Guglielmi really couldn't be much closer to Cole's car, and looks on the inside now as they come up towards Abbey. Slithering and sliding, and I don't think they touched, but they really couldn't have been very much closer. Under bridge. And Short heads Cooper, heads Tromans. And Charles Cooper is having a great race here. This will be one of his best results. In his own words, he's rapid if erratic. And Charles is having a great race. This dice still going on between Steve Cole and Steve Guglielmi. And Guglielmi, as we said a moment or two ago, really couldn't be very much closer to the back of Cole's car. And dice is going on up and down the field. Peter Wheeler, Tim Hood and Neil Anderson all having their private little battle there. Anderson on the outside of Hood and looks to go on the inside as they go around Luffield. And comes out of Luffield just that little bit quicker, and that might give him the opportunity to pull alongside as they go down the straight. And both of them are able, I think, there to close on Peter Wheeler a little bit. And nice defensive driving though from Tim Hood. Flux continues to dominate. Second place, Campbell Walter. Third place, Blower, and he's getting closer all the while. Nice for fourth and fifth. Between Martin Short and Giles Cooper is also getting fairly frantic. Cooper has to keep an eye on his mirrors all the time for Grant Tromans. And then 7th, 8th, 9th are all very close together as well. Flux stretching that lead ever further. Then Campbell Walter starting to come under pressure from Blower. Campbell Walter lights ablaze. Not too many back markers to warn of the oncoming Campbell Walter at the moment. And Cole, he's locked up again there. He really is under an awful lot of pressure from Guglielmi and 22 Matt Kelly. Now look at this. Look how close Colin Blower, very experienced driver indeed, can competes in the National GT with the TVR Tuscan. Look how close he's got to Jamie Campbell-Walter. And I wonder if Campbell-Walter just might have pushed the car a little too hard in the early stages and might not have looked after his tyres as well as he might have done. And Blower is able to pull alongside of him. And will he go through? Yes, I think he will as they go around Copse. Campbell-Walter using all the road there on the exit, just touching the curb, slots in behind Blower. And I think that might be it. I think that might see Colin Blower in a fairly permanent second place and Campbell-Walter back to third. As we said a moment or two ago, battles going on up and down the field. Neil Anderson there, with Jeff Evans right behind him. And Peter Wheeler has now been passed by Tim Hood. Campbell-Walter continues to follow Blower. Second, third place dice. And around Stowe they go. But I don't think there's very much he can do about it. On board now with Matt Kelly, closing all the time on Guglielmi in front of him, but no sign of Steve Cole. And Cole, I can tell you, has dropped back behind Guglielmi and Kelly. There he is. So these two continue to battle, but Cole has dropped away from them and a couple of places as well. Grant Tromans is the next to be under threat as we move into the closing stages of this, the third round of the TVR Tuscan Challenge. Martin Shaw, unusually for him, looks to be holding quite a train of cars behind him. And Bobby Verdon-Rowe, who's had a race I'm sure he'll want to forget, with behind him number 55 Mark Preston. Here comes Ian Flux out of Luffield and up towards the start-finish line for the final time to take the checkered flag. Ian Flux wins the third round of the series. Second place to Colin Blower, and third will go to Jamie Campbell-Walter. Martin Short fourth, Giles Cooper fifth, and Grant Tromans in sixth. The championship positions, well, they look like this. Ian Flux holding a 36-point lead.